We begin tonight with severe water cuts that will impact tens of millions of Americans and puts a fine point on how dire the crisis is in America's West. A mega drought is drying up the Colorado River and depleting the nation's largest man-made reservoir, Lake Mead. Take a look at this before and after of the reservoir over the last 2 decades. It is devastating. Well, tonight, the federal government is forcing states to cut the amount of water they can draw from the Colorado River, and that means states will have to make critical decisions about how they use water. And here in Washington, President Biden signed what he hopes will help make an impact, a bill that includes $373 billion to fight climate change, widely considered the biggest package of its kind in U.S. history. CBS's Ben Tracy covers climate for us and will start us off tonight. Good evening, Ben. So just how urgent is this situation?
It's become very urgent, Nora, and you can see why. This is what so much of the American West now looks like, dried out and burnt out. Here in California, more than 99% of this state is now battered by drought, and the federal government is so concerned about this critical water source, it's taking unprecedented action.
It's a crisis on the Colorado. The nation's largest reservoirs are rapidly retreating. Iconic dams could stop producing power. Western states are being warned to drastically cut their water use.
This is a crisis that we haven't seen in history.
Today, the Interior Department declared a first-ever Tier 2 shortage on the river that provides water for 40 million people in 7 states. Arizona will lose 21% of its water, Nevada 8%. And the government is now threatening unprecedented cuts on all the states unless they start using less water.
It is in our authorities to act unilaterally to protect the system.
Climate change is making the West hotter and drier. The worst drought in 1,200 years and chronic overuse have drained Lake Mead and Lake Powell to about a quarter of capacity.
We're going to buoy number 3, they call it.
At Lake Powell this summer, we met fishing guides stunned by how fast it's falling.
I'm looking at spots that 30, 40 feet up the wall where my bait was hitting where I was fishing just a year ago.
So you're saying literally a year ago, this boat we're on right now would have been 30, 40 feet up there?
Yep. It's absolutely crazy.
If the reservoirs hit what's called dead pool, water wouldn't flow under the Glen Canyon and Hoover dams, choking off the supply to millions in cities from Phoenix to Los Angeles. Southern California could lose 25% of its water.
We should not get to a day where we turn the faucet and there is no water.
Now, this may surprise you, but more than 70% of the water supplied by the Colorado River is actually used for agriculture, so these cuts are going to hit farmers hard. And Nora, in a sign of just how dire this is, the federal government is actually planning to pay farmers to not plant their fields.
Just incredible. Ben Tracy, thank you so much.